All right, decoders, welcome back. This is going to be a shorter live stream. I don't have a whole lot of time tonight, and my eyes are already kind of tired here. It's late here in Albania, so I'll let a few people join, and then I'll get right into the info. See if people are going to jump on here. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Still says I only have one person in the chat, but I don't think that's true. Okay, we got a thumbs up. Thank you, Kelly and Adam, and thank you, Juan and Bill. X Trouble, how you doing, bro? So give it another minute, and then I'll jump into the information. Like I said, this isn't going to be. Hopefully, it won't make this live stream any longer than 30 to 40 minutes. Just because it's late here and I'm already kind of tired. So anyways, guys, we know that this huge war is popping off, or should we say huge? Probably just, yeah. Anyway, we know that this is how scripted this is. We've been covering it on the channel, and there's Joseph Aquaviva. I was just going to say his name. Yeah, so I was just on Joseph Aquaviva's channel, and I wasn't going to do a live tonight, but I had a few people in my comments say I should do one, and Joseph also said, so I just figured let's just get this done. Let's just get this out there. So, and if you guys haven't subscribed to Joseph Aquaviva 2222, he's in the chat right now. You guys can go subscribe to him. Yeah, bro. Thanks for giving me a shout out on your channel. Appreciate you. Okay, so hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Kamala in this as well, and also the whole Biden thing, and then yeah, we're going to get into it. But so it looks like we got 19 in the chat, so we'll go ahead and start. So, anyways, guys, we know that this thing's popping off in Israel, right? And of course, Joe Biden has to make his visit there, right? Just like he always does, just like he made a visit to Maui after the Maui fires, right? He has to make his visit. And of course, he chooses the one day. So for those of you who don't know, and most of you do know, but most of the time here in the decoding community, on Joseph's channel, on my channel, many of the decoders already know, how big this day is. But 10/18, October 18th, is 10/18, like Luke 10/18, where Satan falls like lightning. So the main subject in Luke 10/18 is Satan and lightning. So the day 10/18 usually should be associated with lightning. And remember, event 201 was held on 10/18. Okay. So it's a big day, and it's always usually connected to lightning because of the connection to Luke 10/18, where Satan falls like lightning. And so I'm going to start this decode by showing what I showed in Joseph's channel first, because it's the biggest point to make here. So Biden was inaugurated into office on January 20th, 2021. Okay. And he's going to be visiting Israel on 10/18, the day associated with lightning in the Bible, 10/18. And we're going to go over to the Gematria, and I'm going to show you exactly why he's visiting on this day. And it's lining up so perfectly with Luke 10/18 and the lightning. Okay. So, yeah, and Joseph's in the chat. He's adding things in the chat so you guys can read his comments as well. But he is correct. Israel was attacked 10 months and 18 days after Joe Biden's birthday, and now Joe Biden is visiting on 10/18. I mean, what are the chances of that, guys? I mean, Israel gets attacked 10 months and 18 days after Biden's birthday and 44 days before his next birthday. Lightning equals 44. In 10/18, lightning comes from heaven, right? And now on 10/18, October 18th, Biden is visiting Israel, right? So with that in mind, Joe Biden has been in office exactly tomorrow. He will be in office exactly 143 weeks. Okay. So on Lightning Day tomorrow, he'll be in office 143 weeks. And the reason that is so big, guys, is because lightning equals 143. Do you guys see that? Just like Joseph was saying, this is absolute proof. And again, we were already talking about this day. I know me and Joseph were both talking about this day, connection to lightning. And then we find out later that Biden has been in office 143 weeks on Lightning Day tomorrow, and he'll be visiting on Lightning Day 143 weeks into his presidency, and lightning equals 43. On top of that, he'll be visiting on a Wednesday, and what are the chances that he's visiting on a Lightning Day and Wednesday equals 143? And on top of that, notice that Biden was inaugurated on a Wednesday, and he'll be visiting on the Lightning Day on a Wednesday. And again, Wednesday equals 143, like lightning. Also, he'll be visiting the place where the Temple Mount is. And we know how big this is connected to the Jews, to Satan, to the whole narrative, the Temple Mount, the third temple, right? Where it will be built, where Solomon's temple was built. What are the chances that Temple Mount also equals 143? And this connects to Satan falling like lightning from the mountaintops, like from the high place. And what's funny is Joe Biden, the news came out that Joe Biden had to cancel his trip to Colorado. Okay. So do you guys get the joke here? Biden was canceling his trip to Colorado so he could go to the Temple Mount in Israel, and lightning comes from the mountains, from the high place, right? From the high place. And remember when Biden fell at the ceremony at the Air Force One ceremony in Colorado on June 1st? Do you guys remember that? When Biden fell? Okay, let me pull that up. Biden falls at Air Force One ceremony. Okay, so again, Biden canceled his trip tomorrow to Colorado in order to go to Israel. Earlier this year, Biden falls at an Air Force, get it? The air, again, the sky, falling from a high place. He's going to be in a plane, okay? And he's going to be in a plane tomorrow, and he falls from a high place, right? And on June 1st, he fell at an Air Force ceremony in Colorado. And tomorrow, he canceled his trip to Colorado to go to Israel. Okay. So again, I covered this on the channel that he fell at the Air Force Academy ceremony. But again, it's such a joke, guys. Pat Murphy, yes. I agree with you. It's not Biden, it's an actor. I guess I should be clear about that. Whoever is playing the role of Biden, we know that these people probably have masks. They probably have different actors for each one. But it doesn't matter. Whoever they're giving us today or tomorrow to be Biden, it doesn't matter. The story is going to be the same. They're still going to perpetuate the same story if something happens to Biden or whatever, So, I mean, yeah, but thank you for pointing that out, that Biden, it probably isn't just one guy. He's probably multiple actors wearing different masks. So anyways, the Air Force ceremony that he fell at earlier this year, okay, And I've thought in the past that Biden could go down in an Air Force One incident. Okay. And when he fell at the Air Force Academy on June 1st, I also thought that that was a clue for this. So, that doesn't have to be what happens, but we will see. That's just one of my likelihoods. So anyways, guys, 143 weeks exactly after he became president, Lightning 143, Wednesday 143, Temple Mount, and the phrase false Jews, right? And we know that these people in Israel probably are false Jews. Maybe my channel will get a strike for saying that, but I just thought that was interesting that also equals 143, just like Temple Mount, like lightning, like Wednesday. So with that being said, let's go over to my post I made. Many of you guys probably saw this, but I pulled up this CNN article where it says Biden is to visit Israel in high stakes trip. And again, why are they using the word high stakes? Because again, in the Bible on Luke 10:18, Satan falls from the high place. So of course they're going to use something with high stakes. In fact, high stakes and high place sound very similar. If you say it really fast, you might not be able to tell the difference. High stakes, high place. I mean, anyways, but high stakes just happens to match lightning. So you see it here, guys. I posted it in the picture. High stakes equals lightning, equals Wednesday, equals Joe Biden, equals Israel, all equal 44. Okay. And remember, Biden was the vice president to the 44th president, Barack Obama. And Barack Obama means lightning from a high place. So again, as Joseph pointed out, what are the chances of all this? This is absolutely perfectly scripted. Okay. But let's go over to Gematria and let's bring up a few more things here. So just notice that not only did they use the phrase high stakes, but if you type in his full name, Joseph Biden, it equals 107, like high stakes. And they said that Biden was going to be making a high stakes trip. And the word shooting equals 107. There's a lot of shooting going on in Israel right now. And what happened in Israel on 107? You guys remember what happened that day. When did this all start? 107. So high stakes equals 107, like the day that this stuff started, and it matches Joseph Biden. Okay. But with that being said, let's just bring up the 44s and 55s for a minute, just so we can pull all this together. So just notice, guys, what are the chances that they use the phrase high stakes in the article, and high stakes is a match to Joseph Biden and Joe Biden with the 55 and the 44, and it's a match to Wednesday, 44, and Israel, where he's going, 44, and Netanyahu, who he'll be meeting with, 44, and lightning, like tomorrow is the lightning day, 44, and as Joseph mentioned, fallen angel that falls like lightning, right? 44 and 55, like high stakes. So again, they're pointing us to this 44 and 55. And you can see just right there in front of you guys how it's all tied together, how it all perfectly syncs with the 44 and the 55. And remember, guys, to go with the 44, okay? Israel was attacked 44 days before Biden's birthday, okay? So let me bring that up. So Biden's birthday is 11/20. Israel was attacked on 10/7, okay? So that means Israel was attacked 44 days before Biden's birthday. And Joe Biden equals 44, like Israel, like Wednesday, like tomorrow's going to be a Wednesday, like Netanyahu, like lightning. So, what are the chances? Now, what's even crazier is, do you guys remember the lightning strike at the White House? Okay, lightning strike at the White House. This is going to tie to Obama because, again, Barack Obama means lightning from a high place. Do you remember the lightning strike at the White House on Obama's birthday in 2022? Okay. Remember, Obama was the 44th president. If you measure from Obama's lightning strike on his birthday at the White House, okay, in 2022, it's 440 days. Do you see this, guys? Do you see this? On Obama, the 44th president's birthday, there was a lightning strike at the White House, and it killed 2 people from Wisconsin. Let me type that in for you. Do you guys see it here? Hold on. Look at this. So I forgot to put that in there. 44, 55. So there was a lightning strike on Obama's birthday. On his birthday at the White House, it killed 2 people from Wisconsin, which equals all the other things here. And it was 440 days before tomorrow, the lightning day. Lightning 44, Joe Biden 44, Israel 44, Wisconsin 44. That's the people who died that day. They were from Wisconsin. And notice that the word Wisconsin has the word sin in it. Sin, Wisconsin. Okay. Yeah, and Joseph Aquaviva, he's saying that Antichrist equals 440. And what cipher is that in? Antichrist. Yeah, so in Jewish Gematria, Antichrist equals 440. So 440 days after the lightning strike on Obama's birthday is tomorrow, when Joe Biden, who is his vice president, is visiting Israel. Can you believe that? That's insane. Do you see how this all goes together perfectly? I mean, not to mention Obama is born on the day leaving 149 days in the year, Antichrist 149, lightning strike, bolt 149, But anyways, so the lightning strike at the White House was perfectly synced with tomorrow, 440 days. Yes, Adam says in the chat, event 201 was on 10/18. Okay, the 2 people that were, Joseph's saying the 2 people that were shot or struck by lightning at the White House on Obama's birthday were Mueller, which equals Obama. Do you see the 32 and 103, guys? Like Obama. If I could type. So you see the 32 and 103 like Obama. So the last names of the people struck at the White House on his birthday were Mueller, like Obama's last name, and it has the 103, just like Obama, and the 32 also. So thanks, Joseph, for that one also, for that addition. Let's see. So what else was I going to say? Okay, so now let's talk about this Gerald Ford thing. So a lot of you guys know. Let's see. Hold on. Let me bring up the USS Gerald Ford. So the USS Gerald Ford was just dispatched to the Mediterranean in response to the attacks on Israel. And there's a reason for this, guys. The USS Gerald R. Ford, which Gerald R. Ford was the 38th president. And Gerald R. Ford gave a speech in 1989 on 10/18, tomorrow. Okay. So Gerald R. Ford gave a speech exactly 34 years ago tomorrow about how the first female president would come. And he said that it would be when a male president dies in office, the female vice president would take over. He gave the speech on 10/18. That was 34 years ago tomorrow. Now, why is this 34 important? Well, that's because Biden will be in Israel tomorrow on that day, on the 34th anniversary. Biden 34. The guy who gave the speech, Gerald Ford, 34. He's going to be in Israel, which is known for Jewish, 34. And just to add on to that, the word murder equals 34. And there's a lot of murdering going on in Israel right now. But I'm just saying, what are the chances that Biden equals 34 tomorrow is 34 years exactly after the Gerald Ford speech about the male president being replaced by a woman vice president? And remember, he gave this speech, Gerald Ford did, in the Herbert Hoover Library. Okay, let me pull this up. Herbert Hoover was the 31st president. Gerald Ford gave a speech about a woman president, okay, in the Herbert Hoover Library. And Herbert Hoover he died the exact same day Kamala Harris was born. Do you believe that, guys? Herbert Hoover was the library where Gerald Ford talked about a female president, and then that Herbert Hoover died the exact same day, October 20th, 1964. Right there, guys. Gerald Ford, October 20th, 1964. Kamala Harris was born the exact same day that Herbert Hoover died, October 20th, 1964. And so she'll turn 59 years old 2 days after tomorrow on the 20th. So tomorrow is 2 days before her 59th birthday. Okay. And again, Gerald Ford gave the speech, and now they've dispatched the Gerald Ford ship to the Mediterranean. What are the chances of that, guys? I've been talking about the Gerald Ford connection. A lot of people in the community have been talking about this. And then what are the chances that they just now dispatched the Gerald Ford ship right on the same time frame as this speech that's coming up? And again, it's 34 years since the speech of Gerald Ford, and Biden equals 34, and Gerald equals 34. Okay. And I mean, it's too perfect at this point. I'm not saying that something's going to happen to Biden tomorrow indefinitely. I'm just saying that, remember the decode I did early in the year, how it all lines up for something that if it lines up perfectly, if they do the same. Oh, I also forgot. Thank you, Joseph, for reminding me. So not only is it 34 years tomorrow after the Gerald Ford speech, it's actually 34 days before Biden's birthday. Okay, so thanks, Joseph, for reminding me of that. So it's 34 days tomorrow before Biden's birthday. And it's 34 years exactly after the Gerald Ford speech about the first woman president. Okay. And again, Biden 34, Gerald 34. But again, it's just so perfect. It all ties back to the Satan falling like lightning. It ties back to Obama, who was the 44th president. He has so many connections, as Joseph has shown many times on his channel, so many connections to Satan and Antichrist and lightning. And it's just absolutely undeniable at this point, you know? And I just really, sometimes I can't believe how this stuff is also perfectly scripted. Yeah, you're right, Adam. 34 is the ninth Fibonacci number. Yeah. Nine could stand for completion. Okay, guys. So I think I have something else to talk about. Let me see if I can remember what else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so I talked about the lightning strike at the White House on Obama's birthday, okay? And how that's 440 days before tomorrow, the lightning day, and lightning equals 44. Obama was the 44th. Kamala Harris, I do want to point this out. So Kamala Devi Harris equals 71 in the reduction, just like lightning maybe that wasn't it, guys. I totally thought that equaled 71, but yeah, I must have forgotten what I was going to show there. But another thing about tomorrow, guys, is that it has 71 date numerology tomorrow. That's what I was going to say. 71 date numerology tomorrow. Kamala Devi Harris equals 71. Also, again, it's the day leaving 74 days left in the year. Okay, so this is the opposite day in the calendar of the Ides of March. Okay. So do you guys remember what happened to Julius Caesar on the Ides of March, the 74th day of the year in 44 BC? You guys remember? Julius Caesar was stabbed in 44 BC on the Ides of March, which is the 74th day of the year. Tomorrow is the opposite day on the calendar. It's the day leaving 74 days. And there's 7 months and 4 days in between. What a joke. I didn't even know that. So there's 7 months and 4 days between the 74th day of the year and the day leaving 74 days. And we know how big the 74 is, guys. Jesus, 74, Lucifer, 74, Gospel, 74, Cross, 74. I mean, so that's another reason that tomorrow is a big day. I mean, it's the day leaving 74 days in the year. And you could argue that that's a really important number. Joseph. So yeah, guys, keep an eye on the chat. Joseph is always adding like stuff that I might be forgetting. Yeah, and the whole thing that Joseph showed, in case you guys didn't see this on Joseph's channel, Israel declared war. Okay, so I'll pull this up. So Israel declared war on 10/8/2023. And that is exactly 666 days. Okay, that is exactly 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday. Okay, so Israel declares war 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday. And in Gematria, Israel equals 64. Barack Hussein Obama, 64. And like he said, the Antichrist, 64. I didn't spell that right, but yeah. So let me pull all this up. Joe Biden, 64. And Israel, 64. So yeah. So here's, and just discard I misspelled the Antichrist, but it's still the right letters. I just didn't type it right. The Antichrist, 64. Barack Hussein Obama, 64. Joe Biden, 64. And Israel, 64. And Israel declared war 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday. Okay. And again, all these equal 64. And it was 64 days after his 2023 birthday when they were attacked. They were attacked 64 days after his 2023 birthday. So yeah, that's a huge, I mean, that was one, I mean, I don't see how anyone can deny that. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Everything I'm showing you here is insane, and how it's connected to Obama and Biden being the vice president for Obama, you know. And okay, let me see. So Cliff is saying 10/7 was 666 days from the December 2021 eclipse. The eclipse? Really? Hold on. When was that eclipse? Was that? Yeah, there was an eclipse on this day or around this time. So that's interesting. So 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday and 666 days after an eclipse. And we know we just had that Ring of Fire eclipse. And we know we have a huge eclipse coming up next month, the Great American Eclipse. And if you guys haven't seen Labda 115, I can't remember his channel, but he just released a video today about Kurt Cobain and how it's tied to the Great American Eclipse next year. That blew my mind. I might have to find that link and give him a shout out because he definitely deserves a shout out. Okay, Cliff, you got it from Gematria Effect. Okay. So anyways, guys, let me think here. So anyway, the high stakes trip tomorrow on the lightning day, high stakes equals lightning equals Wednesday equals Joe Biden, all 44. I mean, really, let's just simplify it, okay? Let's just simplify the 44 and just show how crazy. Just one last time. Tomorrow on the lightning day, 10/18, 440 days after the lightning strike on Obama's birthday at the White House, on the lightning day, lightning 44, tomorrow's a Wednesday, 44, high stakes trip for Biden equals 44, Joe Biden equals 44, he'll be in Israel equals 44. The people that were struck 440 days before were from Wisconsin, 44. He's going to be visiting Netanyahu, 44. And there's going to be shooting going on around him, 44. And military also equals 44. And there's a military operation going on. So military also equals 44. So, I mean, is that really the only number that we need here? Pretty much. I mean, if we want to really simplify it, I mean, the 44 is like the big number, right? And of course, what I showed you in the beginning of the decode, how Biden will be 143 weeks into his presidency, and lightning equals 143. Okay, and that should be undeniable, guys. The fact that Biden will be on the lightning date, he'll be 143 weeks into his presidency on the lightning date, and lightning equals 143 like Wednesday, and it'll be a Wednesday. It's just insane. Okay. January 20th was when he was inaugurated. Just to show this one more time so it's clear. 10/18 tomorrow will be 143 weeks on the nose. Lightning 143. Wednesday 143. And don't forget, he was inaugurated on a Wednesday. And then he'll be on a Wednesday, 143. And don't overlook that it's 1,001 days from his inauguration to tomorrow. And why is that important, guys? 1,001. What is that? Well, that's a palindrome. That means you can read that number forwards and backwards. So what do you read if you read this number forwards and backwards? You read 100 and 100. That's a palindrome. Well, why is that important? Because lightning equals 100. And he'll be on the lightning day, 10/18, he'll be 100 forwards and backwards. You guys see what I'm doing there? I mean, it's absolutely insane. And that makes the calendar line up perfectly too, because what are the chances that 143 weeks is 1,001 days, which is 100 forwards and backwards, and lightning equals 100 and 143. So 143 weeks is really tied to lightning because it's also 1,001 days, which is, again, a palindrome. These palindromes are big, guys, in our reality. When you can read a number forwards and backwards, it's a big thing. So yeah, lightning 100. Have you guys ever seen the name of the music station out of Nashville? I've shared this before, but I think it's good to share this right now. So just to prove that they use Gematria, even in the simplest things. So Lightning 100 is a music station. Oh, look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at this, guys. Lightning 100 is 101 FM. It's 100 forwards and backwards. And look how many days I was just talking about. 100 forwards and backwards, which is the 143 weeks. Okay. But why did they call this Lightning 100? Why? Because they know Gematria. Look, Lightning 100. Okay? Like this is the one thing that you should show one of those other things you should show everyone to wake everyone up. That is an absolute astronomical odd that they would call their channel Lightning 100 and lightning equals 100. No, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't. I'm just saying. Like, I'm sorry I'm getting full of energy here, but I mean, this is the kind of stuff that how could anyone within their right mind ever think that that's a coincidence? So that's one that you should pull out, just for you guys to, I just remember I found that like last year and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Anyways, 1001 days, just like it's Lightning 100 is 1001 FM. Look at that. 1001 FM, 101.1. And 101.1 is 1001. It's 143 weeks on the calendar. And then that's the two numbers, right? So if you just simplify it, that means our calendars are rigged too, guys. Do you see this? Our calendars are rigged because lightning is encoded in the calendar. That means anytime you hit 143 weeks on a calendar, you're also hitting 101 days, 1001, which is 100 forwards and backwards. And lightning equals 143 and 100. Do you guys see that? The calendar is rigged with the word lightning. And from the presidential inauguration to the 1018 lightning day is always going to be, well, not always, but most of the years except for a leap year, it's going to be 1001 days, which means this day, that's why this is the lightning day. You understand? Because this is one of the most important days of every 4 years, which is the inauguration day. And every day, every year, 1001 days after inauguration is the lightning day. And lightning equals 100 and 143 because that's a 143 weeks. Okay. So yeah, I know I'm going overboard with this, but you guys need to like see that this is all perfectly scripted in this reality. Even the calendar. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Lightning 100, show that to your friends. I remember this station too because I lived in Nashville for a short time. Yeah, but yeah, Lightning 100. I wonder what they're doing tomorrow on the Lightning Day. I wonder if they have like a show. It will be crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that later. But yeah, I think I covered everything. How much time have I been on this live? Okay, almost 40 minutes. Is there anyone else that has anything? And once again, thanks, Joseph Aquaviva. And thanks all of you guys in the chat. Why do they care about lightning? Well, I honestly think it's a lot because of this verse in the Bible. I mean, this is probably one of the most famous verses in the Bible, and it's Luke 10:18, where Satan falls like lightning. So Satan is always going to be compared to lightning, right? Because Satan is always falling like lightning. And, obviously Barack Obama means lightning from high, right? So this is obviously why lightning is important. And lightning is something that's like, I don't know, it's something really cool, right? I mean, lightning is one of those things like, it's really crazy how these clouds in the sky can create this powerful force. I mean, it's something, and remember, Zeus, the god, also known as Jupiter, Zeus has the lightning bolt, right? And so, that's probably also why that's probably also why it's important to them. So that's to answer the question, why is lightning important? I think there's a lot of reasons, but yeah, you're right. Earthquake also equals 107.44. So yeah, maybe we get an earthquake tomorrow, guys. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. 22 divided by 7. Lightning is energy and power, right? And don't forget, guys, energy equals 74. Tomorrow is the day leaving 74 days in the year. Okay. So energy equals Lucifer, and Lucifer falls like lightning, right? So Lucifer 74, energy 74. Okay. And yeah, lightning represents power, right? And who are the people that run this world and have the power, right? And they're the ones doing a lot of these things. Yeah, thanks, Joseph. I appreciate you, brother. You had a great show as well, as always. Glad I caught that, your other show earlier. But yeah, good points, guys. Lightning represents power, and electricity and magnetism, right? I was watching a video the other day from some guy, and he said that the elites really love the two things, electricity and magnetism, right? And yeah, so electricity and magnetism is all going back to lightning, and lightning is natural electricity, right? It's naturally comes from a natural process that's on Earth, right? Electricity. It's not created by man. It's like the pure. Remember? So, do you guys remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger? You guys remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger played Zeus? Played Zeus at the Super Bowl in 2022. See if I can find a picture of that. Yeah, do you guys remember when Schwarzenegger played the lightning god Zeus, the lightning bolt, right? Actually, did we measure from that Super Bowl? When was that? That Super Bowl was in February 13th, 2022, right before the Ukraine war. Yeah, so I don't know, nothing there really, but oh, that was on the 44th day of the year, guys. Oh, yeah. So Zeus, the lightning god, had a commercial at the Super Bowl on the 44th day of the year, right? And we already showed all the 44s. Lightning 44. And remember, Obama was the 44th, okay? 44th. And Jupiter might as well be connected to Lucifer like lightning, right? Jupiter is the lightning bolt. Jupiter is Zeus. So it's not a coincidence that Super Bowl with the lightning commercial, because in that commercial, Arnold Schwarzenegger knocks out the power. He causes a blackout. Okay. And he did that on the 44th day of the year like lightning. So that's 613 days ago. The 112th prime number. Interesting. The Jesuits operate in 112 nations. Yeah, Kelly. I mean, Kamala's life is super scripted. I've seen it so many times how her life is scripted. And the one thing I need to point out here on the Kamala subject is that she was born exactly 333 days after the JFK assassination. So she was born 10/20/1964. She was born 333 days after the JFK assassination, right? JFK was assassinated on 11/22. What's 11 plus 22? 33. 11 plus 22 is 33. 333 days later, Kamala was born. Okay. That's also 47 weeks and 4 days. Okay. So Kamala Harris was born 47 weeks and 4 days after the JFK assassination. The reason that's important is because in Gematria, president equals 47. Like government equals 47. Okay. And if she was to become president next, she would be the 47th president. Do you see how the riddle's there? If she becomes the president, replacing Joe Biden, who is the second Catholic president after JFK, and she was born 47 weeks after JFK was killed, and she could be the 47th president. So that's just, let's see, Joseph Aquaviva. Yeah, I mean, I've shown this many times, but Joseph Aquaviva is pointing out the fact that if you go to the Sumerian cipher, JFK, sorry guys, assassination equals 11/22. Okay, and that's the day that he was assassinated. So, hey Beth, how you doing? Yeah, if you're late, you can go back and watch. I pretty much covered everything. But yeah, I'm glad that you were able to make it at least. Let's see, Captain Flatastic, Joseph Aquaviva. Got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Yeah, Captain Flatastic, I don't think she's even real. Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen her face when she's standing behind Biden? She looks literally like a robot. She definitely looks like somebody's wearing a mask, to be honest, Kamala. But I mean, what's new? I mean, Biden's probably wearing a mask too. Perseus says blackout tomorrow. I don't know. It is Lightning Day. Could there be a blackout tomorrow? I don't know. I mean, you guys know on this channel, I've talked about blackouts more than anyone because I know there's a big blackout coming. And when they shut the power off, yeah, I just hope they don't shut the power off before I have to go back to my girlfriend in Germany because I don't want to be alone here in Albania and they shut the power off, and then I'm stuck here. I don't want that. So yeah, just please wait till I go back to Albania, guys, and then they can turn off the power, and hopefully everyone's prepared for that because I think most people in this community have given enough warning that is eventually their goal, is to have a global power outage or cyber attack. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned Kamala's husband because Kamala's husband is Jewish. So that would also connect to the whole thing with Biden going to, what's his name, Doug? He's the second gentleman. What a joke. The second gentleman. And look at this, guys. So her husband was born. Her husband was born 7 days before her. He was born the same year. He was born October 13th. She was born October 20th. They were born 7 days apart. Okay. So he just turned 59 on Friday the 13th, the day in history that the Templars were rounded up. And he's Jewish. Here, I'll pull him up so you guys can see. Douglas Craig Emhoff, born October 13th, 1964, the son of Jewish parents, Barbara and Michael Emhoff. Okay. And he went to, where did he go to school? He went to Georgetown, I believe. Yeah, he went to Georgetown, and we know this is connected to the Jesuits. Georgetown. I mean, this guy is definitely, if she's going to become president, this guy is definitely her handler, if that's what people call these people. Yeah, let's decode him. I got a few more minutes here. Let's decode Kamala Harris's husband, because he could be the first gentleman, I guess. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know I was going to do this, but like, what in the world? So if you type in his full name, guys, Kamala Harris's husband's full name equals 1020. You guys know what that is, right? That's Kamala Harris's birthday. So her husband's full name equals Kamala's birthday. You see that? She was born on October 20th, and her husband equals her birthday, 1020. Douglas Craig Emhoff, 170. Douglas C. Emhoff. So a lot of times you got to use the middle initial, guys, because just like Donald J. Trump, Joseph R. Biden, they love the middle initial. What's interesting about his name, what's interesting about his name with the middle initial is he has the 243, like Central Intelligence Agency. He has the 135, which is a big number. Kobe Bean Bryant. Hold on. Central Intelligence Agency. Okay, well, look at this. So this just goes to show you that Douglas Emhoff is probably a CIA agent handling Kamala Harris. Watch this. So his full name equals 243 and 135. Okay? Or his name with the middle initial equals 243, 135, like Central Intelligence Agency. So that's interesting. Also, if we put let's try to decode his actual name. Douglas Emhoff, 60. Like the 60th presidential election coming up. Oh, let's look at my history, guys. Hold on. But maybe I'll do more decoding on this guy because I'm sure there's a lot more here. Okay, so what's interesting about so this is Kamala Harris's dad's name, right? And yeah, I'll show you real fast. Hold on. So if you type in 60, so again, what's the chances that Kamala Harris's dad? So Kamala Harris's dad's name Donald J. Harris, or his first and last name is Donald Harris. And Kamala Harris's husband's name is Douglas Emhoff. They both equal 60 in the same cipher. So her husband and her dad, their first and last names both equal 60. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to this guy. But there he is, guys, the good old Douglas Emhoff, the second gentleman. I mean, it just makes you wonder, how did they choose this guy to be the first second gentleman of the United States? I mean, what's so important about him? Oh, that's a good point, Mr. Limas. His first initials are DC, Douglas DC. Huh. Yeah. Oh, and look, Douglas DC Emhoff equals 60, just like I was telling you about Douglas Emhoff equals 60. Yeah. So something going on with this 60. I think it has to do with the presidential election coming up. Yeah, he looks like a decent guy, right? He's not doing any Jewish tricks on us since he's Jewish. Yeah, anyways, guys, I wasn't expecting to do this type of decoding, but we'll go to 1 hour on the stream and then I'll let's think. What else did I want to cover? But anyways, guys, I'm not saying that anything's going to happen tomorrow. But the big story is that Joe Biden is visiting Israel tomorrow, right? That's what's happening tomorrow, and that's why it's planned for tomorrow. Now, is Biden going to go down in a plane crash like I've always thought? I don't know. Do you guys remember earlier this year the movie that came out called Plane? Do you remember how Biden fell on the plane? He fell on the plane a couple times. And do you remember how he fell at the Air Force Academy ceremony, which is another plane reference? And do you remember how earlier this year on Friday the 13th, there was a movie that came out called Plane? And the plot of the movie is a plane gets struck by lightning. So again, I'm talking about tomorrow being connected to lightning. And earlier this year, there was a movie coming out where a plane gets knocked out of the sky by a lightning bolt. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Why I'm seeing so many clues for a Biden plane crash? And you remember how the Korean prime minister sang "Bye Bye American Pie" to Biden at the White House this year? And what's that song written about? "Bye Bye American Pie" is written about the plane crash in when was that? 1959? The 3 musicians that died, the day the music died. So yeah, I've seen so much connections to plane crashes. I can't overlook it. I just can't. Yeah, that would be funny, wouldn't it? Biden goes down in the plane, but Kamala jumps out in a parachute. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it was Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and actually, I didn't measure from that crash to tomorrow. Day the music died. Yeah, that was February 3rd, 1959, right? And then the song that was written about this was sang to Biden this year by the Korean prime minister and the White House. Okay, one last measurement before I hang it up, guys. So 1959. This was the day of the plane crash. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, guys, this was the 34th day of the year. I already talked about this number. Biden equals 34. Tomorrow's the 34th anniversary of Gerald Ford's speech about a first woman president. And it's 34 days before Biden's birthday. This plane crash happened on the 34th day of the year, the day the music died. Okay, right here. February 3rd is the 34th day of the year. And tomorrow will be the lightning day, will be 64 years, like Joe Biden equals 64, Israel equals 64, and it's 257 days. So 64 years, 257 days. That's the 55th prime number. Lightning, 55. Joseph Biden, 55. So, I mean, that would be interesting tomorrow. Not saying it's going to happen, guys. Don't hold me to it. I'm not trying to make an accurate. It's a prime number. Yeah, but that's what I see here, guys. I see that it's 64,257, which is the 55th prime from the plane crash. Okay, I'll go to the chat one last time. Hold on. Yeah, K-Caps International. I already talked about that. How the Gerald Ford ship is going to be arriving. Wait, when does it arrive at the coast of Israel? Tomorrow? Can you confirm that, K-Caps? If it's in the news that they're gonna make the Gerald Ford arrive at Israel tomorrow? That would be crazy. The claw. What's the claw, Kelly? Am I missing something? Yeah, and I'm just going back here because the East Palestine, Ohio train wreck was on the same day in history, exactly 64 years after the plane crash, the day the music died. So do you guys remember the Ohio train wreck, the chemical train wreck, whatever? Yeah, I mean, again, guys, I just want to bring up this movie again too, because this came out this year. The crash is only the beginning. So I just want you guys to think, like, why would they use this phrase in the movie? Do you see what it says here, guys? The crash was only the beginning. So the plane crash was only the beginning. So are we waiting for a very high profile plane crash to start a huge event, right? Or are they talking about the stock market crash? But I mean, I've seen so much plane crash symbolism that I just can't overlook it. Yeah, good point, Morgan. Many train wrecks and train crashes this year, and also Allison says that Hoover equals 34, Germany, Colorado. Yeah, you're right. That 34, which I already talked about in this video. So, anyways, I just can't get over that this phrase they use on the very front of this movie. The crash was only the beginning. Okay, and you know, I don't know. I just can't get over it. I've ever since I saw this movie come out this year on Friday the 13th, and I saw the lightning bolt that struck the plane out of the sky, and then I saw this, and see what it says here: survive together or die alone. And you remember this guy, this Gerard Butler guy? He played in Angel Has Fallen. And what else did he play in? Hold on. So Gerard Butler, he played in Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen, Plane, and in Plane, the plane falls out of the. Do you guys see that this guy is completely tied to things falling, like angels and like London, like Olympus falling? He played in the movie 300. Oh, look, he's born November 13th, the same day that Gerald R. Ford ship was commissioned. Huh. Huh. Yeah, you guys remember the Gerald R. Ford, the USS Gerald R. Ford that I was telling you guys about earlier that they just put out? That was commissioned. The USS Gerald R. Ford was commissioned or released on November 13th. And just notice that the word Gerald and the word Gerard, just like the guy's name is. So here it is, November 13th, 2009. The Gerald R. Ford ship was, this construction was started on November 13th. And then this Gerard, who's in all these movies about falling stuff, he was born on the same day, November 13th. His next movie is called Den of Thieves. That doesn't sound very promising. So yeah, I mean, there's probably a whole decode here in this Gerard Butler character because he's always in these movies. Do you remember how he played in Angel Has Fallen and it came out the very same day of Kobe Bryant's last birthday? And Kobe Bryant played in The City of Angels. And then Kobe Bryant fell out of the sky in a helicopter crash. Hey, maybe the crash was only the beginning. Maybe that was Kobe Bryant crash. Because that was the biggest airplane or helicopter crash that we've had in the last, I mean, how many years? I mean, Kobe Bryant crash was like, you can't even. When was that? So that was on 1/26, 2020. Oh, interesting. So it's 44 months. 44 months and 22 days since Kobe Bryant's plane crash tomorrow. Hmm. 218 prime days, like Holy Roman Empire 218. Anyways, guys, I'm just freestyling here. Anyone else? I guess I'm getting off, guys. It's too late here in Albania. It's almost 11. So anyways, I'm going to say my goodbyes. If you guys would hit the like button on the way out, I would really appreciate it. Also, do you guys see the white button at the very top? The white button at the very top of the... I'll put the link in the chat if you guys want to support the channel. You can make a donation to... So the link's in the chat, guys, if you want to support the channel. I appreciate all 80 of you for sticking around and watching. If you guys missed any of the first decode, go back and watch. This decode has been about an hour and 8 minutes long, a bit longer than I thought. But I love to decode, so I just got stuck on here. So yeah, Lori, I'll look into that also. I mean, that Paradise, California campfire was connected to the Maui fires. But I wasn't doing decoding around that time back then in 2018, so I'm sure there's other things. There's other decoders that have done decodes on that, though. Let's see. Blue Skies, Mom. Yeah, just so you guys know, do not do super chats because Google does not give me. I cannot pull money out of Google, and plus Google takes a cut. So if you guys ever donate to me, please don't use Google. Use the Buy Me a Coffee link that I have here. That's the place that allows me to actually access the money, because Google, the corruption, I just can't access the money. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but yeah, I just can't access the money on Google. Plus they take a cut, and I don't like that. So Buy Me a Coffee link is the best way to support the channel. Also hitting the like button. Thank you, Blue Skies Mom. I appreciate you. Yeah, but Lori, I will look into the fire that you asked about and see if I find anything. I'll make a video. I'll make a post or a video about it. Also, there was a guy that reached out to me a few weeks ago to do a personal decode about an event. So if you guys want me to do a personal decode about an event that you guys want me to look into, get a hold of me in the chats, send me an email or send me a thing on my Buy Me a Coffee, and I can look into these stories for you. I found something very interesting from Ian. Ian shared something very interesting about two wrestlers and how it was connected to the JFK assassination. Yeah, I really liked what he brought up. And so anyone has any personal decodes that they want me to do, I can find time to do them. Just make sure they're actual stories. It's very hard for me to decode people's lives because I don't have enough information. But if you guys got a story like an event in the past that you want me to decode, then you guys can hit me up on email or buy me a coffee. So, but yeah, Ian's decode that he sent me, I might make a video about that so you guys can see what I found with that because it was very interesting. Yeah, everything was planned perfectly. Trump or Biden was always going to become president. Megan, has the song American Pie been decoded? I haven't decoded it, but you know what? I can. I need to look more into this song because this American Pie song is definitely going to be connected to, I believe, some sort of plane crash that's coming up. Plus, the word American Pie reminds me of the number pi, 3.14. First of all, did you guys know that American equals Joe Biden? Yeah. So let me just show you guys this. Yeah, do you guys see that Joe Biden equals American? But, and then I told you that in the White House earlier this year, the Korean prime minister sang the song American Pie to Joe Biden, right? And Joe Biden equals American in 3 ciphers: 64, 37, 152. So that's why I believe that Joe Biden also represents the fall of America, because he equals American, right? And if he falls, America falls, right? Do you guys get it? But if you type in American Pie, hold on. See, you could type it 2 ways. You could type American Pie, like the number pi, like 3.14, which also equals 64, like Joe Biden. Yeah, what's interesting about this, if you type it this way, is it has some connections to Joe Biden for sure. It even has a match to Joseph, which is a big name. Notice that Joseph equals 89, like American Pie. There's probably something here that I haven't seen yet. Oh, yeah. Thank you, ES. Yeah, thank you. Leonard Skinnard. The Leonard Skinnard plane crash. This is a big one I forgot, guys. I decoded this earlier this year. The Leonard Skinnard plane crash was on Kamala Harris's birthday in 1977. Okay. So Kamala Harris was born October 20th. Okay. She was born October 20th, 1964. The Leonard Skinnard plane crash was October 20th, 1977. So that means Leonard Skinnard died on a plane crash when Kamala was 13 years old. Exactly. Okay. See, Leonard Skinnard plane crash. Do you remember when Biden fell on the airplane in Alabama? Do you remember how Leonard Skinnard was famous for was famous for the song Sweet Home Alabama. I did a decode about that earlier this year um, about how Biden was connected to the death of the last living member of Leonard Skinner. And remember, Alabama, remember when Trump was in Montgomery, Alabama? And Alabama sounds a lot like Obama. Obama, Bama, Bama. And remember, Obama means lightning from heaven. Barack Obama means lightning from heaven. And remember how Trump was in Montgomery? I did so many decodes this year about this stuff. It's hard for me to put it all together in one video, but yeah, that's a good. Thank you, ES, for reminding me of the plane crash on Kamala's birthday. So again, guys, yet another clue for a plane crash. But yeah, I think, and then when did that guy die? Gary Rossington. So the last living member of Leonard Skinner died this year. So the one member that didn't die on the plane, he died this year on March 5th, right? So let's see how many days that is till tomorrow. Okay, so it's 227 days. So look at this. The last living member of Leonard Skinner died on the 64th day of the year. So Joe Biden, 64, American, 64. And remember how Leonard Skinner is known for Sweet Home Alabama. Okay, and Sweet Home Alabama equals 144, like President Biden. So Sweet Home Alabama, President Biden, 144. Biden fell on the plane in Alabama earlier this year. Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny that 22 divided by 7 is in here, and he loves that number. I know you love that number, 22. And it was 227 days from Gary Rossington's death to tomorrow. But remember, Gary Rossington's bandmates died on the plane crash on Kamala Harris's birthday in 1977. So it's 229 days before Kamala Harris's birthday. Yeah, there's I did a whole decode about this earlier this year, guys. I don't have time to rehash it all. Oh, really? Does Sweet Home Alabama equal 1018 in reverse primes? Crazy. Yeah, so I already did a decode about October 28th. Did you guys see how October 28th is 199 days after Biden arrived in Ireland? Remember, JFK died 149 days after he arrived in Ireland in 1963. The reason 149 days is important is because 149 is the 35th prime, and John F. Kennedy was the 35th president. So he died the 35 prime days after he arrived in Ireland. Biden is the 46th president. So the next big day I'm really watching for Biden is actually 10/28. That was the day I was watching like a lot, because 10/28 is 199 days after Biden arrived. Yeah, so what was I going to say? So let me just bring it up. 10/28, Biden arrived in Ireland, which, just like JFK, he arrived in Ireland on April 12th. 199 days later is October 28th. That's the 46th prime number. Biden is the 46th president. Catholic equals 46. Biden is the second Catholic president. Okay. So if they repeat the same pattern that they did with JFK, that means Biden would go on 10/28. I mean, that's just the simplicity of it. If they repeat the same pattern, if they use the 46, because again, the 35 was important with JFK because he was the 35th and he was a Catholic, and Catholic equals 35. So 46 is Biden's number because Biden is Catholic. Catholic equals 46, and he's the 46th president. So he should go 140 or 199 days after he visited Ireland, which is 10/28, which is Bill Gates' birthday. And yes, it is 64 days remaining in the year, and Joe Biden equals 64. And Gary Rossington died on the 64th day of the year. Huh. And he was connected to this. Huh. Yeah, so I've already put out a couple decodes on 10/28, and there's one reason why. It's because it's connected to the same pattern that JFK went through when he got killed. Biden, if he repeats the same pattern, I'm not saying it will happen, but I'm just saying that if they're really going to do something really obvious, they're going to do that. Because it's obvious why JFK died when he did now, because again, he had to die 35 prime days after his visit to Ireland. Why is Ireland important, guys? Because Ireland is the home country of the family of John F. Kennedy and Joe Biden. They both have ancestry from Ireland. Do you remember how Biden visited the Knock Shrine when he was in Ireland? The Lady Knock. It's like an Irish shrine. So yeah. Who has 199 hostages? Somebody does? Oh, you're talking about Hamas has 199? So yeah, anyway, that's my decode on the 10/28. And just don't forget that 10/28 is Bill Gates' birthday. So Bill Gates will turn, well, how old is Bill Gates? Bill Gates will turn 68. Okay. Well, Bill Gates will turn 68 on that day. Don't forget Seattle equals 44. Bill Gates is based out of Seattle. And 107. The 107 was big with this ritual. But yeah, Bill Gates, don't forget William Henry Gates equals 201. He was part of Event 201, which happened on 10/18. So it happened 10 days before Bill Gates' birthday. Also, Bill Gates, again, I'm just making this connection because Biden could go on Bill Gates' birthday. That's why I'm talking about that. Anyways, guys, I said I was going to get off here a while ago. So it's getting late. It's 11:11 here. So I'm signing off at 11:11. How about that? So I appreciate all of you guys. Once again, God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button on the way out. Thank you, Joseph Aquaviva. If you're still in the chat, thanks for inspiring me to do this video tonight. I definitely needed to not be lazy, and I needed to make a video. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, we'll see what happens tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.